Took the headlights out of the Magnum today. As you can see, they're a little cloudy. They polish up nice, but after a while they get cloudy again. You got to keep polishing them. I've done this vinyl eyelids on mine. We're about to take all this apart and do some upgrades. We've got the Retrofit 2.5 inch projectors. So what we're gonna do is take the factory bulbs out, swap them out with these projectors. They came with these shrouds. The shroud, I'm sure I'm gonna have to do some cutting to get this shroud to fit in there. Probably gonna trim the shroud a little bit so hopefully I can get to slide underneath the divider in the headlight there. We've got some LED halos with a little remote. These halos are made for a BMW. Some cheap ones you can get off eBay. I am hoping to get them to fit around the high beam semicircles. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use, it came with 4 in the pack. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use any in my low beam locations around that shroud. But I'm going to see if I can get something to fit and look decent in there. If not, though, I may just do the one set of halos around the high beams. I think that's going to work out pretty good. Then we've got our ballast and HID kit for the projectors here. Like I said, wire and harness here. So what we're going to do is split these things open. We're going to fit all these pieces into there, put a fresh coat of paint on the inside of these, and a fresh coat of clear over the lenses so I don't have to keep polishing them to keep them looking good. Step 1 for this is going to be heating up the headlights at 250 degrees for 8 minutes. That should soften the seal up. We can prime apart, and then from there start installing all this stuff. I'm going to get them in the oven and we'll come right back. Alright, so after putting these in the oven, working on them, prying on them a little bit, put them back in the oven as they cool off. Eventually, after about 3 times in the oven, I was able to work around that seal and get it off of there. If you have aftermarket headlights, this is going to be a lot easier. That seal is made different on the aftermarket one. It's a lot softer, a lot easier. Next thing I'm going to do is put the lens back in the oven, get it good and hot again to peel this vinyl off. It's going to make it a whole lot easier. Alright, we got that all off of there. Still got adhesive, but we'll put some chemical on there and wipe that off before we repaint these. So, lenses are off. Next thing we're going to have to do is try to make the projector fit in there. As you can see, you got this in your way. So that, on some headlights, it's easy to take this apart, and there might be a screw up there or a tab that's got it held in. I've done these before, and the easiest thing to do is just break that off. It's not going to be in the way at all. It's going to get covered by the projector. You won't even see that little tab that's in there at all. So next thing we're going to do is get the projector and see if we can get it to dry fit in there and see what it's going to take to mount it. Projectors have this little ring on them That's what holds your light bulb in. You're going to want to take that off of there so that you can get it to fit through the hole that your original light bulb was in. This is a retainer nut, holds it on there. And then there's going to be a gasket in this kit that you're going to put on there. That's going to go on the back of here. Notice top, your wire should usually go on the bottom. This is going to slip right in to your original hole. But as you can see, there is no thread showing. That shank is not near deep enough. See if I can get that to show up on here. That shank is not near deep enough to reach through there. So what we're going to have to do is take our Dremel tool, cut that back so that it's only going to end up about 3/16 of an inch of plastic left, probably just enough so that you can get this through there, get your lock washer and your nut back on the back side of it. So I'm going to do some Dremel work there, and we will come back for the mounting. All right, so here's what I ended up dremeling. This area here, not sure if you can see that good. And this is the one I haven't done yet, so you can see the difference. All this area here had to come down, all that. This is the before and after. So now, this, also with the shroud on there, I had a little interference up here at the top, so I dremeled this area out. Also, my halos, my LED halos, my wire, this wire is going to come out the back. I just have it kind of dry fitted in there, but I dremeled out a little slot right there for my wire. See if you can see that. For the wire to fit through there. And I will put some silicone or some E6000 or something on there. These are the BMW halos that you can get off eBay for like 20 bucks. Comes with a set of 4 of them. They fit in the Magnum real well. And no sense spending $400 on a set of halos unless you just really want to. So dremeled there, dremeled the back, and dremeled out a little spot there. The kit came with 2 of these rubber washers. I did have to use the smaller one of the 2 in order to get it to fit through there. This shank is really short. I would recommend before you buy a set of these, check, because some of them have a longer shank, and that's going to save you a whole lot of hassle. Alright, so rubber washer on the inside. Make sure your top is facing top. Washer, and then the nut. Alright, so the washer, I really don't have enough room for this washer. Like I said, that shank is way too short. But it seems to be holding really tight with the nut on there, and I'll tighten that up. And you're going to want to make sure that you're directly vertical. You can kind of, if you look in there, you can see your cutoff line. But I know that the way I've got these shrouds, the way they mount, that this piece here, that notch in the top of the shroud, should be facing directly up, and I've been lining it up with my parking light hole. But you're going to want to have that good and tight in there. You're going to get that real tight. This is the piece that holds your bulb in. That's going to screw on next. But like I said, I'm gonna paint all this. So basically what I've done now is dry fitted. I know this is gonna fit good into here. This is my halo. It drops right in, and I'm gonna be able to get some adhesive to the headlight for that. Shroud and projector fit in there real nice, good and snug. So now it's time to do the other one, and then we'll clean this all up. All right, here we are. Got everything dry fitted. Test on the LEDs. Got the RGB with the remote. Seems to be working really good. They can go on flash, or they can go to a smooth. If I can get it to go. There we go. Speed them up. Back to flash, really fast. Slow them down. Still got to put some epoxy on the rings. They're just kind of sitting in there. Still going to paint all this. Also going to paint the chrome in the back of here. Color match as well. Since we're not using the reflective anymore, I think it's going to look better contrast with the chrome shroud and black in behind it. So we'll get them painted up, get them back together and see how they do.